We are back.
We are back.
Wait, who's this guy?
It is episode 250.
Correct.
Oh
That
my
is
God.
correct.
It's strange to be here. This is awesome. Thank you for having me.
It was always strange being here, Rob. I mean, let's just go ahead and admit it.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna have a good show today. 250. Carcass and I go all the way back to episode 1, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. We're gonna do some shout outs. I'm gonna save mine because I want to introduce everybody to something that I've been doing, and Carcass and I are involved in. We'll talk about that. So, Carcass, kick us off, brother.
I don't really have any shout outs. I do have a pick of the week, but we'll go around the horn first and get that out of the way. But I don't know, man. I'll shout out you, Hair Metal Rob Cowell.
Here I am.
Or that's what my when I call you on when I have you hooked into my phone hooked into the Bluetooth or whatever, and I say call Rob Colwell, and it says calling Hair Metal Cowell. Don't ask me why.
Holy well.
Anyway, yeah. So shout out to you.
Thanks, buddy.
I guess I'll go. Steve-O, go ahead.
No, I guess I do kind of have a shout out. So there's a new record store here in town. It's been around for about 6 months called House Wolf Records. And they made a deal with Matt that they're exclusively doing the what the hell is the record?
Stuck Mojo?
So thank you, Stuck Mojo. In this area, and they're having a signing event in January 15th with 2 of the guys from the band. So those of you in the Atlanta area, check them out. Really good. So I'm going to show some stuff I found there the other day that Carcass John's going to get a kick out of. But quick shout out to them. I talked to the guy yesterday, real good guy, and definitely worth checking out if you're in the area.
Sweet.
Scooter, what you got?
Well, I kind of got to show. I'm going to show a couple things real quick because look at this young buck.
Oh my!
Were you into the Three Musketeers at that time?
I was gonna say you look like you're in typo negative or something.
I don't know.
Solid.
Well, this is the test pressing for the Fatal Delay vinyl that's coming out on Rox Records, roxrecords.com if anybody cares. We are on the A side, and the B side is the 1989 demo from the Musketeers. I absolutely don't like this demo, never did, but that's because everybody says I'm too hard on myself. But it's just a different style than we were. But in any case, they did convince me to finally let it go and release it, so it's available on vinyl and CD if anybody cares. This is a test pressing, and I think the first 50 orders, I can't remember what it is, or maybe it was 30 orders, gets one of these. And this is an original 8x10 promo photo from that Fatal Delay demo. When we put that demo out, we shopped it out to record companies and sent it out to labels, and we went the full Monty, man. We had the promo photos and the press kit and everything, and yeah, I mean, it worked. We ended up getting signed to a little itty bitty label, but I never been a fan of the demo. I think we rushed the studio too quickly, and at the same time, any band that's trying to do anything, if you don't have a demo, it's kind of hard to get shows, and that's what we really needed a demo for. So, but that was 1993.
I think that's the only one picture of Robert I've seen without glasses on.
Yeah, he always wears glasses, and
yeah.
I always protested he wore them anyhow. And then Voivod, the end of Domincy EP is a test pressing.
Yeah, I pre-ordered mine.
I freaking love this thing. I can't. I have played this thing in my car like probably 20 times over. It's so cool. The orchestration they do on the studio version, the new studio version that's on here, it's freaking fantastic. And the track is like 9 minutes long, and it's only a 3-song EP, and the thing is nearly 30 minutes long. So that should tell you it's
Voivod.
I didn't even know it was an EP. I thought it was because I bought it when it came out. I've always considered that to be an album because of the length of it.
Yeah, but it's not. It's only 3 songs. And then this is the one that I was talking about last week that I couldn't show because I left it in my car. But this is the other one I've been playing over and over and over again. This is Patriarchs in Black. Huh?
Is that the covers one?
Covered in Black. Yeah, it's got
Covered in Black.
5 covers and an original track, and it's fantastic. They have a new album coming out in 2025. And I'm hoping also in 2025 at the end there will be a full length covers album from them. But we'll see. It'll be it'll be on vinyl, and then there'll be a separate EP on CD for the other tracks. But I actually heard they did. Oh my gosh, man, they've done some incredible covers. There's more covers than we can probably put on an album. But they sent me 2 Kiss covers they did the other day to listen to, and man, they're just going deep into the catalogs of these bands. They're not like, they're not doing Shout It Out Loud and Detroit Rock City, man. They're digging deep into the Kiss catalog and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm excited about that because I'm a big fan of Patriarchs in Black, as everybody knows. So
they're doing Shandy.
Yeah, not that deep.
Let's hope not.
Not that deep.
I think they need to stop that free fall right away before they get there. Anyway.
I mean, they did a cover. They did a Peter Gabriel cover on this EP, and man, they just rocked that Peter Gabriel cover. But no, they did. So far, they've done Hotter Than Hell, Almost Human, and not Mainline. What's the song off Hotter Than Hell that Ace wrote? Dadgummit, it's not coming to my mind. Nope, that's Gene Simmons. Song.
Oh yeah.
But anyhow, it's they're great. I love that band. But Rob and I, man, we've been jamming. We've been busy.
Yes, we have, dude.
One of the labels is like, here's 6 albums I want to put out in January. We're like, it's December.
It's better to be complaining about too much work than no work. Because I remember when that was the problem too.
Awesome. Yes, it is. So yeah, not complaining. Did anybody take advantage of the sale that any of these labels put out on Black Friday?
Man, I didn't have time, if I'm being honest.
I mean, Rocks had a 50% off sale, and No Left Middle had a 50% off sale on everything. And I know they did really well. I know that Girder and Backbreaker had a killer sale too, but I took advantage of Cleopatra's sale. Look at this. These are all like
nice.
Under $10.
Oh, what?
Vardis Live.
Actually, I have that one. Original pressing.
Humble Pie. I Need a Star in My Life. Double album. Dangerous Toys. Greatest Hits. The Greatest Tricks Live. You have this one, Rob?
Nope.
That's the only one I didn't have. I always thought it was just the Greatest Hits album, but it's actually a live album, so I'm looking forward to checking it out.
Ooh,
early
nice.
UFO.
I'm gonna have to find that because I like the early UFO stuff.
Yeah, I love the early UFO.
UFO, the Salentino cuts. The rest of it's all UFO.
They're putting out so many live out. It seems like every time I go to they're like
got to do something in retirement, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like every 2 weeks there's a new UFO live album coming out.
And then there's the Hangover Sessions, and I'm a UFO fanatic, so I mean, all of those were under $10. I mean, they were just crazy cheap.
Check Rhino. I don't know if they're still doing it, but they had the Rhino, the Tony Martin era albums for $15 a piece yesterday. I ordered the 3 that I didn't have original pressings of.
Yeah, I mean, pull something else out real quick and show it because I see we have a guy here whose music really sucks. So I want to show his album really quick. I got it right here.
So wait, when is the Voivod supposed to drop? Because I pre-ordered one of those.
My one of my albums of the year for sure.
That album sucks.
It's not too bad except for the guitar player blows.
Yeah, the guitar player is not good.
You guys.
Ryan guitarist from Motivic is actually with us right now.
Yes.
This is like one of the coolest vinyls I've ever seen. Look at that. I mean, it looks like a freaking tiger.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Just from the guy that only likes black vinyl too.
Yeah. I do like black vinyl. I just think it sounds better and you'd have less noise. But
yeah, Ryan kills it, man. Those 2 Motivic albums are badass.
I honestly think this is the best of the 2. I like the first one a lot, but this one here is
I like the new one better, but not by much. I really like both of them.
It just dominated my.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. The new one is really, really, really good. I love it, but I am always gonna have a soft spot for Death of the Gunman because man, that was fun to work on with him.
I got one more,
and that's more that I mean. Love, so
I know we're just yakking today, but I got one more I want to show because everybody knows these guys are they're supporters of the show, been on the
Yeah, I
show.
did order that one.
The new Iron Jaw is coming out on only 200 vinyl copies out. So if you want one, you got to get them kind of quick.
I
Yeah,
pre-ordered
and here's-
mine. I think I was probably one of the first 30, so I hope I get some autographs.
Oh yeah, you definitely were. So the first 30 get an autograph copy of one of these 8x10 photographs. So
And here's the deal:
cool.
if you like traditional heavy metal in the style of Judas Priest, do not miss Iron Jaw. I think they've got a heavier edge to them, but good night, that's a great band.
Well,
Thank you.
because it involves Rick Perry, who still has a Jackson plugged into a Marshall, and that's why it sounds so good. Speaking of which, if I can
That's
just
still the
intervene,
ultimate guitar, man. Those 90s Jacks.
the staggered flying V.
Oh my god. Yeah.
By the way, speaking of Rick Perry, the Gamma Side reunion thing is going full steam ahead. They are gearing up for the Hell's Heroes thing, and it is going to be on like Donkey Kong. Those guys are
There it is, Gamma Side.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
free.
TJ Lewis is with us.
Awesome. Yep. All right. Nils
Hey,
is here
George.
from
Here's
Norway.
George G. George was a guest of ours for episode 250. George was a guest of ours on here. What was it, last week or the week before
Yeah,
last?
last week we
Yeah.
were talking about, well, I don't everything.
Yeah. We'll have to have George back because I really enjoyed that episode. So, and yes, UFO does rule. So I'm done. Sorry, some of that's self-promotion, but honestly, it all has to do with the show. It's all metal and it's all good stuff. And
It wasn't shameless self-promotion, so that's okay.
Let's
Yep.
let's roll
Pick of
the
the
pick of the week.
All right. Well, just because you're here, Rob, I have an extra special pick of the week. And it's not what you think it is. I think I'm going to do a metal and a rock one. And I'm going to do the metal one first because I cannot get this thing off my turntable, especially when it's glow in the dark vinyl. Blood Incantation, Absolute Elsewhere, and I had to look up the what the definition of that was. They mentioned it in their live set. You hear dialogue, and there's some backtracking, not of the music, but of just voices and some ambient stuff. But this is an absolute must. I don't care what kind of music you really, really like. This thing is a ripper from start to finish, and we went to, in fact, I tell you what, shout out to Daniel Mitchell. We went to his birthday party at the Sunshine Bar in downtown Arlington, and we pretty much had the rule of the place last night. There was about a dozen of us or more hanging out, and they had a jukebox there. And guess what they had on the jukebox? I am not kidding you. Blood Incantation. They had the whole Stargate, Tablet 1, Tablet 2, Tablet 3. Anyway, I plugged it in because it's that good.
10 out of 10 record.
Stop it.
10 out of 10. No, let me, Scott. Everybody needs this record.
Right on. Here, let me help.
This is a great rock
Ken
record.
talk.
This is Lotus Unfolding. This is their most recent release. And what I like about it, thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. I know Rob is feeling a lot more at home right now. But the thing about this is he asked all the players that have been in the band previously to come in and add something to the record. So he's got Raleigh back, he's got Seaweed, he's got Joey Hinton, all those guys, and it's such a cool record. It really is.
Thank God Seaweed is back.
Yes, of course. Great drummer. Hey, Xander, one of our younger listeners.
Rob, this comment says that you look like old Santa Claus, but
I saw that.
little does anybody know how true that is.
See, I've been fanboying Rob ever since his absence, so I've tried to, kind of match his style with the beard. But anyway, so
hopefully none of my grandkids are watching. But Rob has been Santa Claus to my grandkids for the last 3 years because they always want to call. So Rob is actually in my phone as Santa Claus.
Hold your phone up on the screen.
What's that? Hold the thing.
Hold your phone up on the screen.
Yeah.
He's going to call you so they can see it, Santa Claus.
Oh,
Let me know. Isn't this exciting television?
It
is exciting.
This is great production value. See, you brought it all back. You brought it all back to episode 1.
Yes, I did. Well, I'll
We all
call.
need to be.
I was
We
going to
all need
call
to
him
be.
and let you see the screen, but
We need to be crowded in front of your laptop. Is what we really need to be doing.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
it does usually come up as Santa Claus, but it's for whatever reason not working at the moment. No big deal. But anyhow,
all right,
yeah,
I'm calling you. I want to see if it comes up.
it's just it doesn't come up as a picture. It's just coming up as your number. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
He
All right,
deleted
well-
you from his phone.
Yeah, he deleted you because you have been on the show for so long.
So we've got Carcass and I specifically have something kind of cool to talk about, and I won't take too long. But thanks for letting me come back on. It's been a while. You guys aren't going to see me around too much for the foreseeable future. I'm doing some other cool stuff. Oh, there we go.
there he is.
Looks just like him.
But one of the things that I'm doing between now and retirement, which comes up in April, is, and I'll be doing it after that, but Carcass and I have been involved in the launch of a music app that I need to tell you about. Carcass is doing a weekly show, and I'm doing Monday through Friday every week. So wherever you grab apps, go look at this. It's the 128 dB Rock app. It is free. There are no subscriptions. There are no gotchas, no nothing. And we are playing. You might hear Blue Oyster Cult, Slipknot,
It's Pantera right now.
Kiss, Pantera,
Blood
Dokken,
Incantation.
Testament, all back to back to back to back. If you've ever had a Jack FM station in your area, that's kind of what we're doing for classic rock to heavy metal. My show is just all over the place. Deep cuts, new music, modern tracks from classic bands. I like to call it, like new Dokken stuff or new whatever. But Carcass goes deep, man, on Saturday nights from 10 to midnight. He goes deep and plays all the gurgling, gargling, unrecognizable stuff, logo bands. And let me tell you what you don't know about the Carcass. The Carcass is a kick-ass rock and roll DJ. His show is badass. Every Saturday from 10 to midnight, you need to check him out. He can tell you about some of the features, but I'm begging you, grab the app, please. Tell your friends. We are trying to bring back classic FM DJ style shows. And then if there's not a show on, then the auto DJ plays all the shit that we have picked. And I'll run down some shows, but Carcass, tell them about your show.
Okay, well, you said deep into the heavy stuff. That's why we call it the Crypt. And it actually, don't I rebroadcast on Sunday too? So the Saturday show typically rebroadcasts at the same time on Sunday. So if your weekend is boring, you can always check that out. But here's the deal. There's no holds barred on this stuff. We can play whatever we want. We try to keep it clean so people listening during the day don't have to worry about their kids, etc. But we delve into some heavy stuff: mortiferum, mortuus, tomb mold, blood incantation, napalm death, carcass, exodus, whatever. And I love the freedom of being able to play things that sound great together. I do a thing called the triple thrash threat, where we have three thrash songs back to back to back. I do the Queen's chopping block, which is I let Steph choose 4 or 5 are the most brutal, heinous things you'll ever hear. I do the crusty corner occasionally, where because that was my introduction into the heavy metal world, was through punk and crust. So I like to harken back to the Verruchers and Discharge and Disgust and Repulsion, Nausea, whatever. So anyway, the bottom line is we're still having fun. We're just doing whatever. This is like, we're not trying to be super serious DJs. We don't talk like this either. We just talk. We're just being ourselves. And and if you want, you can go to spacecadetjetdistro.com and you can get a Crypt t-shirt or a Metal Roundtable t-shirt or a Rob's Records t-shirt, which are about to happen starting in January. So there's lots of fun stuff. That's the way you can support the scene, way you can support us, whatever. And not that you don't have to buy a shirt to listen, but you know what? They're novel and they're fun. So
Yeah.
knock yourselves out. But
So
anyway,
Oh,
thanks
sorry.
thanks for the opportunity, Rob, because you're the one that encouraged me to keep pursuing it. And I'm delving in, I'm dabbling a little bit. I'm doing an hour of shoegaze, I'm doing an hour of sludge, I'm doing an hour of prog rock. So, who knows where this all goes, but please DM me or send me an email. Either hit me up on Instagram at CarcassJohnArt and leave me a message. Give me some suggestions. I mean, I learned a little bit on the show. George was here last week. I learned some things, and I wrote down there. And hit me up at or on my email, carcassjohn@hotmail.com, and give me some suggestions. If I play your suggestion, I'll send you a shirt. How about that?
I love it. So
All right.
I still don't get it.
I
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Whatever.
Go there.
People are into shoegazing. I don't get it.
Oh, God bless.
I thought you were telling me I needed to walk in his moccasins, and I was like really confused.
Metal Miners got it.
He was the only one that got it because I didn't get it until he wrote it in there.
Hey, even the Queen likes a little shoegaze, and she's into some heavy stuff.
Yeah, it's good.
She makes Fraser Dawson look like a real poser. But anyway, I digress.
So I'll leave it. I want to make sure that we've got some time in the show, but I want to go back to the 128 dB thing real quick. So Lee Russell started this. He is the founder. He is the owner of this thing. That dude has worked for everybody: Tesla, Skid Row, Karabi, bunch of people, super connected. But I'm going to run down. You've got the AJ and RJ show. Those dudes used to do KNAC, and now they're hanging with us. If you're in the DFW area, Chaz from the Eagle is doing a show called Power Chords. You've got me every day, Chaz every day. On Wednesday, we've got the Phoenix with Rockwood, and he plays all the underground unsigned stuff, which is cool. I'll go really quick. But here's check this out. We've got Charlie Kendall's Metal Shop as well, which to me, to teenage metal, Rob, that's a huge thing. We've also got a punk rock show on Fridays with Rob Lobster. He's a badass. On Saturdays at 6, The List with Billy Kidd. He puts together cool lists. West Coast Wednesdays with Drew. And this list isn't even complete. I know I'm leaving some people out, but please check it out. Support the shows. Hit the 128 dB app. Like it on Facebook. Tell Lee hello, and I'll shut up. But that's what I've been doing, and that's why I'm not here much anymore.
So some people are going to probably wonder, well, if Rob's not going to be on, is it just going to be the other three guys? And yes, it is going to be the other three guys. However, we have also talked to Kevin Colehouse, or Old Metal Rocker 65, who was on the show, 2 times in the last few weeks. Yep. And he will also be making several appearances on the show with us. So we will still have at least 4 guys. And then you all met, excuse me, you all met George last week, and he's agreed to do some shows in the future as well. So we're gonna bring in other people as well. But yeah, so there'll be lots of guys here with lots of metal knowledge, and I'm looking forward to another year of shows. I mean, we're at the end of the year and at a banner 250.
And speaking of Francisco, thank you. Yes, it does take commitment, but that dude right there is a shining example. He's deep, and Francisco Polito is deep, dark in the underground scene of the Gulf Coast, and man, he's been around a long time too. So, mad props to him.
ETD, check them out. Grindcore killer.
Yeah, Eat the Decay, man, they're great.
Had him on the
show. Awesome stuff.
Yep.
Eat the Decay, is that what it is? I always thought it was Eat the Disease. I'm just kidding. I knew it was that.
And he's done stuff like Cemeterian. He's done, man, and he's a killer musician, and he's a funny guy too.
You can also go to 128db.com if you want to rock out with your keyboard out.
It just doesn't have the same.
No, it sure doesn't.
Hey, let me show. Let me show some records I picked up real quick, because
go for it, man.
I found some amazing stuff this first one was kind of a blind buy, and I was blown away to find out who it was. But this is Masako Honjo, who I had never heard of, but the album art looked really killer. So it turns out this is Loudness with a different singer. It's all the guys from Loudness. This is from like 82 or 83. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys from Loudness, 1 guy from X-Ray, which are both early Japanese metal bands. Killer artwork, though.
Isn't he the drummer?
What's that?
Isn't Masako the drummer?
No, that's a different Masako. No, this is a totally different guy. He's only done his solo stuff, but he's got like 5 albums, and it's all guys from Loudness that are on the instruments. So this one I had never seen before, but this is one of my favorite labels. This is Ebony Records. This is Metal Fatigue, their first comp. This is the very first release from Ebony Records. Really cool. Now this is where it gets good, though. So these next 2 are first pressings. The Deluge from Manila Road.
Oh, wow.
A first private press from Manila Road, Crystal Logic.
Oh, dude.
I couldn't believe I found this. This was at that House Wolf Records. And then you'll get a kick out of this one, John. This thing is mint, unplayed. Been looking for this for like 20 years on vinyl. Finally found a copy.
We have a story about that very cover.
Yeah. So I've had this on CD pretty much since it came out. I've been looking for it on vinyl forever. It's always like $300, and I found it for a very good price, and it looks unplayed. So
that's got a hole punch too. There's several of them out there, and those were I want to say like KPFT and KNON, and they were local Texas radio.
Yeah.
So if that circulated out your way, that's pretty cool. Actually, that has a backstory.
But have you ever found this?
Liberace? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Liberace. Yep, Liberace.
Yeah, tell the story, John.
No, we did Bruce Corbett's final interview, and as many of you know, he passed away from that demon cancer, and this has been, gosh, has it been 4 years ago?
It's been a while.
Yeah. Anyway, I didn't know really. He agreed to do it. I had asked him, and he agreed to do it. And Rob and I were both like, "What do you ask?" Basically, a guy who's, walking the line between here and the afterworld. And Rob had found that Rigor Mortis. It was just the cover, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a stack of records in a collection that he bought. And he brought it just to show Bruce, and it had a bunch of signatures on it. Mm-hmm. And all we had to do was just be quiet and listen to the stories. Bruce knew exactly who all the players were. Scott Shelby was in the room, also from the War Beast, Gamma Side, Hammer Witch, blah, blah, blah. Mike Taylor from Rabid Flesh Eaters was also there, a long time, super, super high qualified guitarist. And Bruce I think it was a very happy moment for a very sad situation, but I remember him giving us the whole background on every name on there. And
the guitar player passed away too, didn't he?
What's that?
Didn't the guitar player pass away?
Mike Scascia, yeah. In a tragic kind of way, but he was on stage playing his guitar, and it was a show right before Christmas.
Oh, yeah,
and yeah, it just there were some real poignant moments. In fact, I want to say that was that episode 13 or 18 or?
Man, I don't know. What I remember from that day is I remember you calling me and saying, "Hey, we're going to do this interview with Bruce," and I was scared shitless because I'd never met the guy, and I don't remember if I'd met Scott by then or not, but I remember you saying, "Hey, we're kind of on standby. If Bruce is, awake and up to it or whatever, you're going to need to come to Arlington fast." And so the call came to you from Shelby, and we rolled down there, and man, I was nervous and I didn't know what to ask, just like you said. And we got in the room, and here's this man who is dying. I mean, he's hooked up to stuff, and he's in his hospital bed that's at the house, and it was just sad. It was really hard to see, but he was so excited to do the show. I remember that. And I remember sometime during the interview, I got crack voice because I was getting so emotional about, seeing this thing unfold. And I pulled out that album cover, and it was signed by all those guys. But the key thing was it was signed to somebody that they knew from another band called Talon. And so they started talking about that, and that just took over the whole thing. Thank God, because I was scared shitless.
Yeah, and I have yet to. I have a hard time thinking about it because Bruce and I were very close, but I still haven't been able to wind my way through the entire interview. It's just.
I've not watched it.
But he did tell me in confidence afterwards that he said that was so awesome. Thank you for doing that. And so I guess when it gets down to brass tacks, what do you have? You have your memories, you have experiences, and it was great to listen to him be able to tell those stories on his last few days here on the earth, and it was literally
6 days away.
Yeah, and it was crazy enough. It was we've had a couple of those, like the Eric Wagner thing too. Was, I mean, that was frightening. I mean, he was. I was a little intimidated by him because I mean, this is the front man from Trouble, and I'd always heard about him, but Henry Vasquez, bless his heart, he said all you got to do is put the mic in front of Eric and he'll take care of it. But he was kind of slow to respond, as I remember, and we had to. But once he got into it, it was awesome.
Yeah, what I remember about that, it was going to be the Obsessed and
the Skull
over at the record store in Arlington. And Henry called me and said, "Hey, come out. I want you to hang out," and all that kind of stuff. As he does, as he does. He called you, he called me, and we were all going to go and hang out at the show and whatever. And I can't remember if I asked him if we could interview Eric or if he said, "Hey, come down and interview Eric and Wino." I don't remember. But what I do remember is I got in the room and started setting my stuff up. And the next thing I know, Eric Wagner is setting up chairs for us and setting up a table for us. And he was just the nicest dude. And again, I was very nervous. I even say that on the interview, but then he just rolled with it. And then 2 weeks later, he was gone from COVID.
Yeah, that happened. I've talked about this before, but that happened the day he was supposed to play here in Atlanta. We heard halfway to the show that he had been hospitalized that day. And Wino ended up just he did a longer set. He did like a 2-hour set since the Skull wasn't going to be playing. But he was hospitalized that day. And I think 3 or 4 days later, probably he had passed away. So
yeah, he was at Henry's house for a while, and I don't want to get too deep into the details, but he was there for a while and he never left the area here, is my understanding.
Yeah.
But, I don't want to. Yeah, that we were so privileged and fortunate. I don't even want to say fortunate. We were just in the right place at the right time to accidentally get those final interviews of those guys. Well, not Bruce so much. That one was more planned, but you just never know where all this is going to take you. And I just feel fortunate to have been able to cross the paths of those guys, and my only memory of Eric Wagner will ever be how freaking nice he was.
Speaking of, there he is, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
There.
Yep. Will you guys tell some stories about the show? I don't want to talk the whole time.
Well,
So you don't want to talk
sorry.
about the time you forgot Gene Hoglan's name? You don't want to talk about that? Go ahead, Scott.
How about the time we did what was it, a half an hour interview with the drummer from Saxon before we pushed play on
Before we pushed play. Nigel was nice enough to go back and retrace his words. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I did last night. I was sitting and watching TV with my wife, and I gave her a pad and a pen, and I asked her. I said, "I'm trying to remember just some of the interviews that we've done over the last couple of years, and which artists that we've had on the show." So I just started rattling them off. So I made this list, and I'm like, and this is just from the last couple of years. This is not even, going all the way back to the first episode. But I mean, we've had, we just had Jamie Moore on the show. What was it, 3-4 weeks ago from Irreverence Demon Feed? We had Louis St. August from Mass on the show.
Yep.
Gene Hoglan, which we just talked about. James Rivera and Larry Berrigan from Hellstar. Roddy Dunsmore from Devastation, and what's his other band? Help me out, guys.
He was in
Roddy
Killing
Dunsmore.
Machine. He had a band called Killing Machine.
What band is he in now?
Rodney?
Yeah, is he in a band now too?
No, he's in precisionprinting.com. That's what he's in.
I just know Devastation.
No, Devastation was his deal.
And we had on John Perez.
Oh yeah.
Glenn Rogers. Yep. Glenn Rogers from Hyrax, Heretic, Primal. Eric Wagner, which we discussed. We had Dave from Havoc on for a while. Larry Dean from Triton. Johnny D from Doro and Brittany Fox. Nigel Glocker twice, I think, from Saxon.
Yeah, we did.
John Greeley from Iced Earth. Chris O'Toole from Turbid North and
Unearth.
Thank you. Chris Manning. Caton DePena from Hyrax. Bill Rhines from Reverend and Reptilian. Rob DeLuca from Spread Eagle.
Yep.
Kerry Crafton, who was in a band called Follower, but he's more known as being a producer. There's the Hyrax.
Yep.
That Caton interview was a lot of fun. We did the full hour, and we ended up being on the call with him for another hour after the show.
Yeah.
Don't forget Ron Reinhardt.
Oh, I'm getting there. So we got Kerry Crafton, Charlie Belmore from Dee Snider's band, among many, many, many others.
Toxic Holocaust, Kingdom of Sorrow, Kings and Liars.
Yep,
many. Eyes, name it. You name it.
We had Vic Stone from Vindicator. A couple times, I think we've had Vic on, right?
Yeah,
at least once. But Monty Colvin from Galactic Cowboys. We had all the Stone Trip guys on from Australia.
Oh yeah.
Tanner Poppet from Madrost. He was also on with Angelo Espino from Heretic about the Heretic movie.
Mm-hmm.
John Allen from Stone Horses. Rick Perry from from Gamicide. Actually, from Gamicide and Puncture.
Yep.
Gamicide and Iron Jaw. We had I'm working on, and I'm hoping I'm going to get this guy on too. Do you guys remember this band?
Oh yeah, right on.
Yeah.
Just working on seeing. Anyhow, John Humphrey from what? Seether? Is that what he was from?
Yeah, Seether and from the Nixons.
And then Corey Laurie from Stuck Mojo and Seether. Dan Lorenzo from Hades, Nonfiction, Patriarchs in Black. The mighty Brian Slagle from Metal Blade.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was a good one.
And we were lucky enough to be one of the only people who ever got to interview Ron Reinhardt from Dark Angel, because Ron doesn't do interviews. It's always, Gene always does the Dark Angel interviews. So
that's weird because he was very engaging and pretty eloquent.
He was in Hyrax too, wasn't he?
Ron? No, he was in Oil.
No, he's in Oil.
Maybe maybe that's something enough.
Yeah, Oil. He was in Oil too. So
what about Sherman from Insecticide?
Oh yeah, in that crazy studio. What was it called? Side stage or something like that.
Yeah, something like that for Tanner's documentary.
CIDE. Oh, yeah. Hair.
Sherman was awesome.
We had TJ Lewis from
Forebode. Yeah,
Forebode.
And we had Eddie Konopasek. Remember we did that interview upstairs in the former record lair.
Yeah, in front of my laptop.
In front of your laptop.
Yeah.
How about George Call? How about Kevin from the Heavy Metal Shop?
Yes.
Remember the interview we did with Macabre? I thought we were. Remember they were talking into a pickup from a guitar had it connected to a.
I have to show you something.
Okay.
Keep talking about Macabre.
No, Macabre is a band from Wisconsin, and they're heavy, heavy, heavy. I was introduced to them when we were out on the road with Turbid North, and they did some dates with them, and anyway,
I would love to get Chris Jarrett. I would love to get Chris Jarrett on the show.
They are wild. Those dudes were wild. I think we did. Go ahead.
So
I can't tell if this is a serious quote or not. You need to interview a new Christian metal band called Goat Penis.
So Macabre is on the show. It was a technological. It was interesting from a
it wasn't necessarily a failure, but it wasn't great.
But they were great. They were cool. They kept shouting buzzard at their drummer, I think. And a few days later in the mail, I get a koozie. But inside the koozie
was a pickup. Oh.
Yeah. I wouldn't take $100 bill for this stupid can of Busch Light because Macabre sent it to me in the mail. And all they did was drop it and the koozie and some stickers in a bubble mailer and just throw it in the mail. It's a miracle that this got to me.
And if you ever have a chance to see them, man, go do it. It is they're killer. In fact, one time I went to visit my daughter. This has been 7 or 8 years ago, and every time she and I get together, she's into metal too. We just Google metal Salt Lake, and the Macabre was playing a show at a place called the Warehouse. Yeah, the Warehouse, I think, and it literally was a warehouse. They opened the warehouse door, and the landing where the trucks would back up, that was the stage. And we were outside. It was like 34 degrees, but it didn't feel cold because, of course, it's a drier cold out there. But Macabre was one of the bands, and it was such a killer night. We had such a good time, and hung out with those dudes. And even though they were sick, they were very accommodating. They all had colds and pneumonia and whatever, but typical road dog stuff. But if you have a chance to see Macabre, please do.
Who was our first guest? Do you remember?
Gosh, I don't know. Was it
Waters?
Scott? Yeah, was it Scott Waters? It might have been. Yes, the uninvited guest that never left, like King Diamond said. Boy, I don't know. That would be we'd have to go back and look at the. It might have been the Forebode guys upstairs in the record lair.
I'll go over and look on YouTube. But I remember. I remember the first episode because it was standing right there.
Right there. I remember our episode we did about Judas Priest, and everybody trashed us because we forgot stained glass. So we did another episode, and we said stained glass is pretty awesome. Okay, and that was it.
Like, hey man, did you like stained glass? Yeah, I liked it too. Okay, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time on the Metal Roundtable.
Yeah, I don't think I can pull it up while we're on because I don't want to cause feedback. But yeah. We've got the Metal Roundtable channel on YouTube. There's also a Metal Rob channel that's got a bunch of crap on it. But I think all 250 now episodes are on the Metal Roundtable.
And we've actually
it looks like it only goes back to episode 40. I'm actually on there now.
Oh, I hope not. There's been some real winners.
The first stuff is the funniest.
Like the Forebode birthday party.
Okay, it is on there. It's just not in the live section. So yeah.
Yeah, it's not, we didn't go live for I guess 30 or 40 episodes. We recorded it and then I would upload it.
Yeah, we had a birthday party at when Forebode was the house band, and then Aska actually played in the living room and debuted a new song, and then spent 45 minutes telling us how they had traveled the world and done USO shows and been to Iraq and Dubai and Saudi Arabia and China and wherever else. It's
So it
crazy.
looks like your first interviews were Larry and Andrew from Hellstar.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
that's what I'm
And
saying.
Wow.
remember on the corner of over at Reno's,
Yeah.
and those people kept walking by and interrupting us and
Oh
hey,
my
hey,
gosh.
is this a bar? They have music here, and we're like,
You can't hear this. Yeah, you don't hear the screaming.
yeah,
Oh
crazy.
my gosh. Yeah. I remember. I'll do real quick because I don't want to keep hogging the show, but I remember I met John. I was in the back of Born Late Records over in Fort Worth, and I had this idea for a show in my head. Not like it's this big original idea, but the main thing I wanted it to be was just like we had run into each other at a bar or something, and we figured out we were metalheads, and we started talking shit about metal. And so I just had that in the back of my head, and I'll get to it someday. And I'm standing in the back of Born Late over in Fort Worth, and I hear this dude, Carcass, talking to Henry, the owner, also of St. Vitus and Blood of the Sun and The Skull and all these bands. You know, he owns the place. And so John's talking to Henry, and he's like, man, I need a cassette deck. Mine's in the shop and or broken or whatever. And I just literally leaned my head around the corner like, what? You need a cassette deck? Call me. And that was it. Here we are.
I figured out I came into the show. It looks like my first episode was 71.
Wow.
4 years ago.
Wow. I can't believe it's been 4 years that you've
That's
been on
crazy.
the show already.
Yep.
It's great to go watch one of those old videos just to see Carcass with the goatee instead of the beard.
Yeah,
Well, if you
the
go back a
beard's
little
not
even further
going
than that, he's
anywhere,
got no
fellas.
facial hair. Yeah.
Yeah, the beard's
Yeah.
not going anywhere.
I think I had a beard the whole time, didn't I?
It wasn't that long. You had kind of a closer cropped beard.
Okay. I don't remember. But yeah, it's been fun. We've met people, and it's been cool to get to know Steve, because I didn't know Steve before the show. And Scott and I go way back. I saw Ultimatum in 97, I think. And then I've known Scott for a long time, but now it's just like every day. Hey man, can you do a DDP for me? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Did you get this? Is that misspelled? Every day, several times. So we've been.
Did you put the apostrophe in the right place?
Yeah, it's been fun, man. We've made friends through this show, which is really cool.
I can't believe
Yeah,
that Eric
absolutely.
Wagner was 3 years ago. That doesn't seem like that long ago when that happened.
So
I
if
was just
that's
going-
the case, the Brewster must have been 4.
Does anybody know Donna Halper? Who Donna Halper is?
I do.
Oh yes, she was the lady that that played Rush at the Cleveland radio station.
Yep.
And had people clamoring for them.
Yeah.
Yep. We had her on the show too.
Boy, that was she was very interesting.
I'd forgotten about that when I was looking for my first show, I stumbled across it.
Yeah, somebody said earlier we still need to get Jericho on. I have tried several times, but I will continue to try to get Chris Jericho.
Yeah, he's had sort of an upsurge in his current business as a professional wrestler.
And he is busy, man. He's busy.
He's big time.
Oh, we had did we ever have oh no, we didn't get the dudes from is it Scepter? Saber? Whatever. Ed Aborn. Did we ever get Ed on the show?
This must be an inside joke. An inside joke here. I don't know. I've been licking my wound since last night, Carcass.
Oh, see, Donnell came to the Dennis Mitchell's birthday party at the Sunshine Bar, and unlike some of us who have a will to not get completely trashed on a Monday night, I guess Donnell did not get the memo on that, and I guess he made it home in one piece.
Question: is St. Vitus still active? As far as I know, they're not, right?
No, nope. I think that bird has flown. But Henry, is Henry, Tony Reed, or the new members of Pentagram. The new record sounds great.
Yep.
Great songs. I'm interested in I think there's kind of like a special edition box set of that has kind of outtakes, but it's like a whole entire album. I think Henry told me they did 22 tracks, and I think only 11 or 12 of them made it to the actual album. So
I wouldn't mind having King Diamond on the show. Someone said about bringing King Diamond on.
Yeah, he's from right
Jason
here.
McMaster been on?
By you, Rob.
What's that? Yeah, he's up close.
Yeah, he lives up in.
Has Jason McMaster been on? I thought he had been on at some point too.
Jason McMaster?
Or maybe we were.
That would be another.
No,
that would be another one.
I think we've tried to get him. I was actually asked him if he wanted to officiate the wedding for the Queen and I, but it worked out that he doesn't do that anymore. But plus, he is swamped too with Dangerous Toys and all the other Evil United. I know I think I was telling you that he and his brother have a
Slayer
band called Sad Wings. So check them out if you're in Austin, San Antonio area.
I should drink this Busch Light on the show.
Oh, you should. We need to get Marvin on it. We need to make sure Marvin is the witness that you can that he can witness that.
I friended all those dudes on Facebook, and it's so funny to have seen them on the show, heard their music, and then just see Tyler just as a normal, everyday family dude kayaking and stuff. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't compute.
No, it doesn't.
All right. No, the Jason McMaster thing, I think I interviewed him for the 128 thing. I don't think.
Oh, I think that's right.
I think it was, I think I had him for that.
Yeah, I'd love to have him on the show. He's got so many different bands he could talk about.
Oh, he was great. That interview was awesome. I need to pull the
Dangerous Toys right there.
Audio of it.
I saw these guys on their very first tour. They were great. I saw them in a little club. Wasn't a whole lot of people there. I don't know, maybe a couple hundred people. But it was fantastic. Anyhow, it's interesting too because he's been in so many different styles of bands. I mean,
he can sing anything.
This and Watchtower are like two totally different animals, you know.
Well, you got Broken Teeth. That's something totally different too.
Yeah, and that Rush tribute. Did you see that they did?
Cygnus X1.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's really with
good.
Mike Portnoy. Pretty close. It's a pretty good imitation of Neil Peart, don't you think?
Yeah, he was good. Man, there's just 250 episodes. There's just so much gosh, we could never get through all of it. But I am just stoked that people have continued to show up. And even since I left, which I think is by no accident, the crowd has grown.
Oh, come on now.
That's awesome. Uh-oh. Let's see. I have no idea what you're saying.
You know what we need to try to get? We need to try to get Dave McClain because he's in your area.
Yeah.
And he's been in S.A. Slayer, Sacred Reich. He's another guy that's been in like a dozen
Machine
bands.
Head.
Yeah. I forgot about Machine Head. Yeah.
Okay.
Who's that? I didn't hear the name.
Dave McClain.
Dave McClain. Hey, John, I got a question for you. Do you think Sadis? What do you think of? Do you think Sadis? You think you're not going to drop off Hell's Heroes? You think about?
You got me, dude.
Oh, that's the one where the guy just got arrested, right? One of the members got arrested.
Oh, really? I didn't hear about this. That's disappointing because I wanted to reconnect with Travis and with Darren Travis and I'd actually sold him
it was the drummer John Allen.
Really? He got arrested? He used to live in Houston. I used to see him all the time at Sound Exchange.
Some kind of abuse allegations.
Oh, that is really, really unfortunate.
Yeah, man. I'd love to have you guys back on again, TJ. Lewis.
What? You know what? Rumor has it. Come on, TJ. Spill the beans. Are we going to get a new Forebode record? And are we going to get a little touring action? Do we get to see you play again? My living room is still available. We'll feed you. We can't pay you much, but we'll feed you. Anyway, looking forward to that. As much as I love the Eddie Konopasek version, I know Eddie's happily engaged.
I'll give up I'll give up my weekly pay from the show to give to them to play.
Yeah. Let's all pool
Oh,
our
okay.
money together. TJ, you've got three pennies waiting for you right here,
I got a can of Bush Light
and a can of Busch Light.
And
How
a,
can
and a
you
beer
pass
koozie.
that up?
and a sticker. I'll give you a sticker.
3 stickers for everybody, a pocket full of change, and a Busch Light.
Dude, Brian McFadden's on fire. He thinks I'm collecting Star Wars figures. Although that's so funny you say that. I have one Star Wars figure. It would take me a minute to get to it, but it's a Darth Vader figure signed by Dave Prowse. If you know who Dave Prowse is,
Yes,
the actual Darth Vader, not the voice.
right. Man, the Queen, don't invite the Queen over. She'll conk you on the head and steal it.
I would if the Queen asked me nicely, I would probably let her have it.
Oh boy.
Hey, Rob
Don't
Whitlock's
send
here.
that vibe out.
Hey, what's up, Rob?
Scott and I played for pizza. My old band that will absolutely remain unnamed, gentlemen, played for the other band that was on the bill one time. Literally, not one person showed up.
What's on the sleeves of the Devastation shirt? More of
Funny
the
enough, and I don't know if I've told this on here, my very first metal show was White Cross in like '88. They did a tour of the West Coast. It's the only time they played the West Coast, and it was at a Pistol Pete's Pizza. And the reason I went there is because you paid $7 to get in, and it was all you could eat pizza and a metal show.
wow.
Yeah.
What a deal. Bring the 80s
I mean,
back.
like I said, this is 87, 88. $7 for me was a lot of money at that time. You know?
And that guy's a shredder, man. Rex Carroll, that guy can
Oh
play.
man, it was a killer show. But yeah, it was of all places a pizza place.
Well, I will be at the Iron Jaw CD release or album release party, CD and vinyl release party at the Haltom Theater on February 1st, along with Carcass. Do you know? Creeper.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, February 1st.
I'm gonna show up at
Yeah,
Rob's house the Friday before the show, and so I can go too.
You're coming in? You're coming in town for that?
No, I was
Oh.
kidding, but I would love to come, but
No, we'll
I
have
just invited myself.
We'll have to send Iron Jaw your way to Albuquerque and let them play there.
Get your ass in the car. Well, we're about to wrap it up. I've run out of steam because I'm old and I don't know what else to talk about. But I'm game for whatever.
I think you got it all out of your system, though. You've been gone for so long that.
Don't forget about this.
I gotta say, whoever mentioned this last week, this is a fantastic pickup.
That would be me.
I still didn't buy it.
You still didn't buy it yet?
No, I
get it because
it.
There's one seller on eBay selling them for $19. All the other copies I'm seeing are jacked up to like $40 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did buy it. I did buy that Hammerfall after we talked about it, though.
Yeah, but this is great. I was like kind of just expecting, a bunch of demos, but man, it's absolutely awesome.
No,
especially it's like one of those albums that's ingrained in your memory. You know what I mean? It's like I know this thing inside and out. I've played it so many times in my lifetime. So hearing these completely different versions. I mean, it's not even just remixed or remastered. It's completely different versions of some of these songs. But anyhow, same thing with this thing. The Jailbreak one. And I mean, it's just called 2024 Remix, but they went back to the original master tapes and they found all this crap that like different vocal lines that were intros and alternate guitar solos, all this different stuff that weren't there in the original one. So it's really cool that I don't know. I'm digging this thing.
Hey, Brian, go back to last week. The show we did last week was our favorite songs of the year. Was that last week or the week before? Or our favorite albums of the year?
Yeah, but we haven't done our top 10 or our top 50 or whatever Scott has pulled over there, stacked up next to his desk. And I guarantee you one of them's Motivic.
That's my number 2 of the year.
That's your number. Oh, well, don't tip your hand there, Steve.
Oh, sorry. That's not my number 2 of the year.
It could possibly be, but it isn't, sort of.
We already said at the beginning of the show that the album sucks because the guitar player sucks.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, see, yeah.
So when it ends up in number 2, everybody will be surprised.
Yeah, there you go.
I am sorry. I did promise that we'd have the president on the show, the president-elect, and also Kamala Harris, and unfortunately that
Easy,
didn't work out.
easy,
And
big fella.
and my and also I said something about my grandma coming on the show, but she died a long time ago, so I couldn't conjure that up. Ouija board didn't work. I tried, but
Yeah,
so
religion and politics. Let's steer clear.
No politics, no religion. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Rob loves religion. He especially loves Christian metal. That's his
I
favorite.
love Bush Light and Macabre.
High on fire. Well, yeah. Ooh, look at Brian McFadden. He is on fire.
we're all reading it and all quiet.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, let them do the show.
Yeah, we're. I mean, if you're just listening, you're like, what? Everybody's like, what the heck's going on? Dead air, dead air.
Yeah, we're reading.
And if you
Yeah,
guys,
yeah,
we were
yeah.
just talking about this. If you guys haven't bought that album, it just got reissued. That was Wagner's album right after he left Trouble, and it's called "Lid Into the Mushroom." It's a 12 out of 10 record. I've been playing that nonstop all year since I found out about it. So
There's something about his voice that he can make anything sound good. If he
He's
were
got-
singing country,
when I
it
think
would-
of doom metal, it's him and Wino's voices. Those are like the two perfect voices for that genre.
yeah, Robert Lowe, I give him some credit. He
Yo,
stepped it
Robert
up
Lowe's
last year.
fantastic.
He stepped it up last year and got through that Solitude set. And I understand that there may be some more Solitude in the works, but just keep your fingers crossed. And
And did he sing on the last Tyrant album too? And he did a great
Yeah.
job on that as well.
Yeah.
he used to be in Candlemass. I mean, that's pretty tough
Well,
company.
he went
right
back
there.
and forth with Candlemass for years, didn't he? Didn't he?
Right.
He did an album, then Messiah would do a couple, and then
Right.
he would come back.
I thought
Messiah's
you were gonna
another
say
one. He had a fantastic voice too.
I thought you were going to say Candlebox.
That's in your
Yes.
wheelhouse, man. I have
He was
no
a doom
idea.
metal singer of Candlebox.
That's right. Hey, I would check that out.
Oh,
What if Robert Lowe were singing for Candlebox? I guess that would work. I don't know. But-
Oh man, that new Rat. Brian brings up that. Yes. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go look. There, Rat's got something on Bandcamp. I know that new song "Reach for the Sky" is. I love it. It's like getting in a time machine.
Yeah, it's
What
the
is-
reissue, right?
What?
yeah. I got the copy with the signed insert, but yeah, it's. I haven't listened to it yet. I guess they remixed it. It's supposed to sound really good, but it's got the Reach for the Sky 7-inch that came with it. So I'll be listening to that this week.
Ah, that's killer. It is absolutely a freaking time machine. Oh, I see. Interesting.
You know
What
what's
is?
you know what else is interesting?
Me watching me read.
The new Fu Manchu.
Man, I'm so hit or miss with that band. Oh man,
Their last ones have been pretty good, especially I love that one with Alex Lifeson doing that 18-minute track. But this thing is killer. The Return of Tomorrow. This is really, really good. I don't know how to squeeze it into the Crypt lineup, but maybe the sludge.
Maybe you need to squeeze some of this. Can you
Sludge?
put some of this into the Crypt lineup?
I couldn't even think of putting that into the Crypt. I could think about it, but
Come on.
you know what?
Don't be a
I could.
wuss.
You know what?
Don't
I
be a
could.
wuss.
I could figure out how to squeeze it in there because I'm getting pretty good with this Audacity thing, and
Oh yeah.
I
do
could
a
mix some Anne Murray in there.
Hey, did
Yeah.
Scott, do you still have the Pat Boone metal album? Did he do a metal album back
Yes,
in the
he
90s?
did.
Yeah, he
And
did.
Did.
and it's terrible, but it's wonderfully terrible. So
Oh,
Okay. Hold everything because we
Okay.
have to have rat talk. Brian is my spirit animal. So right now on Bandcamp, which I'm shocked that Rat has stuff on Bandcamp, but they do. I didn't know that. Anyway, dude, check this out. You can get the vinyl for $26. You can buy the CD for $13 or the digital album for $8. Tell the World Studio from 83, Round and Round Rehearsal, 82, I Want It All demo, In Your Direction live from 87, Round and Round live 87, Body Talk live in Germany 87, Drive Me Crazy live 87, Wanted Man live in 85, and Love on the Rocks demo 1989. I'm going to buy that right now.
Is that is that like a second album or a second
It's called
record
Rarities.
in the
It's
box
called
set?
Rarities, yeah.
Oh.
Red
'Cause
marble
you know
vinyl.
what? I need a good copy of Out of the Cellar. I don't mine's beat to a pulp, but if they got a remastered version, I would be very interested in
I'll
that.
let you know how it sounds. I'll listen to it this week, and
Okay.
I'll let you know.
But I'm going to leave
'Cause I've
that up.
heard it sounds. A couple of people have said it sounds. I've heard this sounds really good, and I've heard that the new reissue of Rock-a-Rolla sounds really good too.
Ooh,
Which
I
I
see.
also haven't
Yeah, I
listened
would be
to.
interested in that one too.
I was one of the first 50 people, so I got the Judas Priest can opener or bottle
Oh,
opener.
killer.
One of those red marble vinyls right here. Like, it's hard to see, but got black in it. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I'm still waiting for my Petra T-shirt.
Hey, Greg, I know you're watching. You just said Carcass. He even asked me, hey, what is Carcass's size? Probably just forgot. I'll remind him.
Okay.
Speaking of Petra,
There
I
you
just
go.
got this in the mail. I just got this in the mail today. Jekyll and Hyde on vinyl for the first time ever.
It's like the Metallica Black album, except you can read the name.
Yeah, this is this was I think their last studio album. I mean, I think it got packages out and live albums, but this is the last studio album. Definitely their heaviest, but I got a little bit of a beef with this record. I know a lot of people love it, but you've got one of the greatest guitar players ever in this band, Bob Hartman, and there's not, I don't think, one single guitar solo on the whole album.
Really? That's weird.
Yeah.
Speaking of guitar solos, Rob, have you heard anything from the Stone Trip guys about recording and what they got coming up next?
They did. That's funny. Funny you should ask. I talked to their manager a bunch these days because she works at Golden Robot Records, and so we keep in touch. I talked to one of the guys a few weeks ago. They are working on new stuff, but if you haven't checked out their new single "Beautiful You," you should do that.
Any word on the health of
Con?
Thank you.
No, I think he's in remission. I think he's doing well.
I think he's doing
good.
well.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yep. I check in on him every now and then. You could have knocked me over with a feather one night. I'm walking through the dark, the landing of the staircase over here, walking across to the bedroom, and the only light that comes on is my phone, and it's Con calling me.
Well, I think he and his bride just celebrated their 17th anniversary, 18th.
So yeah, but it was awesome to talk to him, man. What a sweet guy.
Yeah, he's a great dude, and he I still think he's a great drummer. I mean, I don't know if he's playing anymore or if he's.
I don't know,
but it would be nice to know.
We're working on something behind the scenes, kind of. We're working on something for 128 dB with those guys.
Okay. Man, you know what? I told you it was a cardinal sin. I know I had the CD. I just never gave it a whirl when I was reworking my new record room. I put that thing on and I didn't get anything done. I sat there with my jaw hanging open because it was so good.
Is it the EP, the black one?
No, it was
Rotary.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, so good. So good.
That thing, it was, and I hit play again and sat and listened to it again. I didn't do anything I just didn't get any work done that night. But
there's not a bad song on that album. So
great hook, great melody, killer production, great vocals, great everything. But anyway,
hey, we need to wrap it up here. But one thing we didn't mention on here was Mark. We haven't Monkey Butt.
Oh yeah, Monkey Butt. I do a podcast with him. Choicespodcastofficial.com, and he's our production guy and our producer, and his health has been up and down, riding the roller coaster. but he's still with us, and he still has a will to still be with us. So that's good. Steph and I were having this philosophical discussion the other day that you can lose money, you can lose friends, you can lose a job, but if you lose hope, man, you got nothing. And that dude has a hope and a will to live. So mad props to him. He's the one that gave us the opportunity. And remember, we used to be in a really cool professional studio for about 20 episodes. It seemed like 20 or
You did.
and it was work getting there, believe me, because for me it was 45 miles away without traffic, and I had to really plan my day around it. In fact, I think I even did a couple episodes. I did one episode from the car, from a parking lot at a truck stop in South Dallas because I couldn't, too much traffic. I couldn't make it to the studio. So
yeah, Monkey Butt made us graduate from the laptop recording to his studio, and I think kind of kept us going. Hey man, this is something. And we kept saying, it's too simple, whatever. And he's like, no, dude, just talk, just keep going. And yeah, he was really cool to us, man.
Yeah. And I think you're right. I think he kept us going, but
he did.
I'll make mention. I did tag him on some of the promo stuff I was doing on Facebook, just to get people to swing by the show. But anyway, yeah, we talk about going from the outhouse to the penthouse. Holy cow. We were staring at two guys staring at your laptop to where we had headphones on and boom mics and a screen behind us. And
it was great.
It was pretty elaborate. It was great. But anyway, all that being said,
Rob, why don't you go ahead and do all the exit stuff and tell everybody where you can find everybody, for your last
it's been
last show for a while. Not that Rob's going anywhere.
He can ride the bike, Rob.
Rob is always welcome back. He's just doesn't have time at the moment, so don't think he's leaving permanently. So there's always a chance he'll be back.
I'll drop in from time to time. Probably not super often, but I'll drop in and I'll keep you guys updated on what we're doing. Please check out the 128DB app. I'm going to try to get this right. You can follow Carcass at Carcass John Art. You can follow me on Instagram at.
Hang on. You're going too fast. Wait a minute. You're going too fast here. Go now, John.
Oh, you can follow Carcass. Now I see what you're doing. Follow Carcass on Instagram at Carcass John Art. You can follow me on Instagram at I am Metal Rob. I am easy to find. You can find me on Facebook. We're all over the place. Steve is at Harmless Rebel 8868 on Instagram, and the great Scott Waters at No Life Till Metal on Instagram. Yep. And be like Steve. Get the app.
And this is no gimmick. This thing's the real deal. It's really super fun, and it sounds great. And there's so much variety on there, you just can't not have it. So
and it's not, and I don't want to diminish what anybody is doing, because we're doing our podcast here, or whatever you want to call it. It's not just the run of the mill. Oh, hey, I started an internet radio station. The app changes everything. The DJs change everything. And it's really, really, really well done. Got some killer former FM guys on there. And then my dumbass.
It just takes me back to the 80s and 90s when we had good metal stations, that don't really exist anymore.
We're not beholden to play the common track that,
right.
You're not going to hear Turbo Lover. You're not going to hear
you might.
Man. Well, you might.
Funny enough, The Sinner is playing right now from Judas Priest.
See, that's a better track than Turbo Lover, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. See,
we don't need no parental guidance here.
Oh well, you really dip deep into the catalog there.
That's right.
Uh-oh, Shandy.
Dawkins playing now.
Uh-oh. See, Rob, that's the perfect time for you to that should end the show right there.
So I'm going to tell you the truth. I sign off on my show differently, and I forgot what I used to say. Hang on. Oh, okay. I got it. All right. for episode for episode 250 of the Metal Roundtable. Until next time,
Metal
will
prevail.
Scott, are you touching the buttons? Am I touching?
Yeah,
the buttons?
I got it going
Hey,
on
don't
here,
touch
man.
my buttons.
Don't.
Bush
Stop
Light
it.
from Macabre.
But
It came in the mail. It was in a
But I may
package.
leave you hanging for a second.
Push.